The program designed to help you with ideas on where to go, what to do, and where to stay on your next vacation. Welcome back to Travel Show Live. I'm Erik Hastings, joined with Alan Lauren once again this week, sir.
Hello, how are you?
Nice to have you here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon.
It's gorgeous.
You look well. We're here in New York City, which can mean a number of things, but the thing that's relevant is we are close to London.
We are close to London, actually. And most people don't. You just threw me for a loop.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean...
London, Ontario. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's right. London, Ontario. Okay. Nice. No, a lot of people forget that going to London is a 6-hour flight. It's not a long flight. Now, if we wanted to go to, say, Japan or somewhere like that, I mean, that would be a little bit longer. But here, getting over across the pond is very easy to do.
So you're saying this is a very convenient place to go?
That is exactly what I'm saying. And that is why Jacqueline French is here from visitlondon.com.
Jacqueline French from London?
Isn't that something?
Okay.
I'm sure she's never heard that before. Hello, Jacqueline. Welcome to Travel Show Live. Nice to have you here today.
It's very nice to be here.
You know, once again, we have been having this relationship. Now, this has been going on for a couple of years, you and I. Come to think of it.
It has. It has. We're building up a bit of a reputation, I think, you and I.
I think that's why they're going to start talking about us. Well, it's nice to have you back on the program because one of the things I'd like to talk about is value in coming over to visit London, because sometimes people think, oh, I can't afford to take this kind of a vacation, it's too expensive, blah, blah, blah. It's not as expensive. You're going to see great value for coming to visit, correct?
That's absolutely right. I mean, London is a world city, and you do have to bear that in mind, but there are lots of ways to make the dollar go a little bit further. So there's a few tips to take. So, for example, don't take cabs everywhere. Try and use the public transport system. It is really easy to use. And when you are on the public transport, make sure you have an Oyster card, which is an electronic smart card. You preload it with your money, and it deducts the value of your journey each time you travel, and it's about half the cost of a cash ticket. So definitely worth getting one of those and saving money every time you travel.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. And I'm glad you mentioned that because I know that the tube, as you call it, is very easy to navigate and very easy to understand.
That's right. It's all colour coordinated. The signs and the stations are really easy to follow, and it is easy to get kind of all around the city. Although another helpful hint is when you look on an underground map, some of the stations can be a little bit closer together than you might imagine. So it's also worth getting a street map, an A to Z, and maybe trying to walk between some of the stations as well, because they can be closer than you think.
Oh, that makes sense. That's a great tip. I love it when you come on and give tips. And now we're looking at your website online. This was so easy to find this subway map just by going to your website, by going to Visit London. That was so simple.
That's right. Well, we're the official tourist board for London, and our website, visitlondon.com, has got everything you need. So maps, itineraries, accommodation, where to eat, what to see, what to do. I mean, it's all there, and it's updated every day, so you know the information that you find on there is going to be up to date and very useful.
Well, I wasn't going to ask you this, but you're going to know the answer, so I don't mean to spring this on you. But for the first-time visitor, if you had to give a top 5 for somebody that's not been there before, what do we have to do? I mean, I can help. Tower of London, right?
Tower of London's always a good one. I mean, obviously, London is a great mix of history and heritage, so the Tower of London certainly ticks that. I would recommend going on the London Eye. You get fabulous views of London. You can see for about 25 miles. I'd also recommend taking a riverboat. The River Thames is such an integral part of the city, and you can travel. You can either do a circular cruise, or you can just go kind of about 40 minutes in one way, and you'll pass everything. The Houses of Parliament, Tower of London, Tower Bridge, the Tate Modern. I mean, you'll pass so many icons. So I'd certainly recommend doing that.
All right, now let's...
what else
Well, I was going to say, now this is perfect because it leads me to the second-timers visit. Because I think that's very important, where a lot of people listening say, you know what, I did London 5 years ago. You know, the Tower of London probably hasn't changed that much, and I don't want to repeat my steps. I want to do something new and different for my next itinerary. That's where you can help. Tell us about a second-timers visit.
Well, for a second timer, do you know there's still just as much to explore? Even going to kind of some neighbourhoods which are kind of slap bang next to some famous places. So Regent Street and Oxford Street, most people will have heard of.
Yeah.
But if they go a few streets over, a few blocks over into Carnaby Street, it's kind of another little neighbourhood, very quaint, lots of independent little boutiques.
My wife and I loved Carnaby Street. We had a great time. We spent all afternoon there. It was a great spot.
It is brilliant, and actually for anyone that's been at the Lower East Side this weekend, down at the around Orchard Street, we'll see some of the boutiques from Carnaby Street. In New York City for about the next couple of weeks, and then we'll be hosting those boutiques in London in October. So we're having a little bit of a shopping retail exchange at the moment. So that's very exciting.
Well, from that, we need to talk about this thing coming up in October. This is the first ever, what is it a culinary festival? What are you guys calling it? It's like Restaurant Bonanza. What's it called?
It's the London Restaurant Festival. It's running from the 8th of October through to the 13th. And it's going to be absolutely fabulous. There'll be lots of things happening in restaurants. We've got about 400 restaurants across the capital signed up at the moment. But there'll also be lots of events going on as well that you can join up. So, for example, film buffs can head down to the BFI, the British Film Institute, down on the South Bank, and they can join something called Eat Film, where they'll watch a film and then they'll be able to enjoy the cuisine from that film afterwards. So I think one of the films is Goodfellas, and then after that you can kind of tuck into a big Italian feast. So there's lots to do in the restaurants, but lots of ways to celebrate food as well, and I think it's going to be a really great festival for everybody to join in.
Jacqueline, hi, this is Alan Lauren, Eric's co-host. You know, it's interesting for people who haven't been to England in a while, in London especially. You know, it used to be the butt of Europe in terms of cuisine. Can you talk about how far England and London especially has come in the realm of cuisine? It's world class now.
Absolutely, it's very world class, and you know, if you come to the capital, you're going to find some amazing cuisines. Not only can you try one of our 49 Michelin-starred restaurants, but you can also taste cuisines from around the world. There's around 70 different flavors you can try, and we've even got the only Thai Michelin-starred restaurant in Europe. So the quality of food, and I think the passion for food, is incredibly high in the capital.
Yeah, and it's worth noting, too, that New Yorkers feel most at home, they say, in London, because it's a city, it's a big enough city, it's got those neighborhoods that are so much fun to explore, and then you pop in and you get cuisines from all over the world, depending upon the neighborhood you're in.
And apart from language, most things are the same. So,
that's exactly right. Thank you, Jacqueline, for doing this once again. I appreciate it.
No problem. It's been my pleasure.
All right. Have a marvelous afternoon, and we will make sure that we spend some time on visitlondon.com. That is London's official tourism bureau. We're always happy to have them on because, as we were talking about earlier, it's where you're getting this information that's going to come into play, and that's the official website. So you can't get easier than that. Now, Alan, are you excited about our how-to segment coming up?
Oh, my goodness. I've been talking about it for days.
I know, right when you got off from your nap. Yes, I know. Yeah, we're going to do how to do a theme park in one day.
In one day.
One day.
Okay,
we're going to do that
wonderful.
next here on Travel Show Live. Stay with us.